So hello and welcome to Heljan TV. I am Richard Watson and I am joined by Ben Jones. And today, as you can probably see, we have a huge selection of O gauge. Now, believe it or not, this entire range is heading to our UK warehouse as it stands, and we're going to give you a rough overview in this video. So we've had a little change round, and as you can see, we have a big selection, although not the entire selection, in front of us. Now, Ben, tell us what's in front of us, because I'm just in awe.
So this is just a small selection of what we've got available on Heljan.com, or what is going to be available. We've got everything from tiny little industrials, entry-level locos, bigger BR shunters, mixed traffic diesels, and even right up to sort of big heavyweight diesels like Peaks, 58s, 56s.
Now, O gauge has always been naturally bigger, but then with a naturally larger price point as well. However, we're now changing that. We're shaking that up. So tell us some of the new price points, particularly as one thing I'm very interested in is an O gauge loco for under £99.
Yeah, I mean it's a real game changer. The Ruston 48 years, they were always really good value, but now they're available on the website at less than £100, £99, which is an absolute bargain for a really well made, chunky little model with fantastic running qualities. It's got directional headlamps, loads of detail, two different versions, obviously the original open cab version and the later enclosed cab. Some really nice liveries. It's for £99. It's a fantastic entry point to O gauge.
And of course, it's not just the Rustons that are more accessible in price point. I mean, things like the Peak. We've famously been going on about the Peak if you've been following our social media, because you can get an unnumbered Peak for £249.
£249.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is incredible value. I mean, like 3 kilos as well.
Yeah, it's a big,
Solid
big
things.
weighty thing. Yeah.
And that's across the range, so it's well worth checking out. But what are some of your highlights? Because you've worked with these previously. What is some of your highlights from the range?
One of my particular favourites, something that I've always wanted for my own layout and just to make into a ready-to-run model, is the Yorkshire Engine Company Class 02. It's a really handsome little, originally an industrial design, but also bought and used by BR and used widely in industry from the early 1960s onwards, and it's a really attractive design, lots of nice liveries, and it's made a really fabulous little model, and I'm really glad that we've got that available both in double O and in O gauge now.
I was going to say we do some weathered versions, but they'd make a very good project loco to really get some grime and some weathering techniques to as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, as sort of humble shunters and industrial locos, they were quite often neglected. So they're a perfect canvas for weathering projects.
And you've been devilish to us, because although I'm thinking, well, I could just have sort of like a heritagey scene with, say, things like the Peaks, as we mentioned, or the different liveries of the 117s. You've got the modern image 153s as well, and you think, although they've actually just entered service for my local heritage railway, actually, funny enough. So I've just convinced myself now, so there's two of them I need as well.
You can always find an excuse for these things. Yeah, I mean, and again, another one of my favourites. I think it's one of the projects that we've had the strongest and most positive reaction to since it came out. Where it's a really attractive looking model, and it's a model that you can build a layout around, and some people are already doing that. The 153, I mean, it's been a revelation since it came out. It's hugely popular, and you've got obviously the regional railways livery, which is probably the one that people most associate with it from the original years of the class. And then obviously you've got lots of colourful privatisation era liveries that came afterwards. But yeah, that again, it's a kind of an entry level model, but something you can build a project around.
Well, they say that's quite a modern model, because we do the sound fitted versions of it. I mean, there's not many left. I think they've been very popular because they're as you said, the latest to arrive, aren't they?
Yeah, they're sold very quickly. The 153s, they've been hugely popular, and we're down to the last few on each livery now.
So I love that, because a lot of this stuff naturally, due to the size, lends itself to depot layouts. But of course, you could have a small halt with these things and say the bubble cars.
Yeah.
Really opens the doors for potential.
Yeah, I mean, if people are restricted for space, which a lot of us are at home, you don't need a huge amount of room to have one of those a little station halt or a terminus or something, or alternatively a little wagon works or a milk depot or something with a 48. And you can fit an awful lot in all gauge into a small space using these kind of models.
And I suppose it's a good time to mention that we do a depot as well, depot kit, which I believe is £24 for a depot kit now in O gauge.
Yeah.
I mean, same again. You could just get yourself your favourite loco and get yourself a tiny little shelf layout going. The potential is
The depot
huge.
kit's a really attractive thing, actually. Yeah, it's based on Shirebrook,
Oh yeah.
which sadly is no longer there, but people will know it from BR days, home to 56s and 58s and things. It makes up into a really impressive building, especially with the extension pieces if you've got the space for it.
I love it because it's see-through,
Mhm.
which is unusual. Normally you have the solid walls, but no, it's great. You want to see the locos you've just bought.
Yeah, and also you can. It's a modelling project in itself because you can see so much of the interior. You can add all the things like lockers and lifting equipment, all that sort of thing. You can buy 3D printed these days. You can really go to town on the interior as well.
Right, so I think we've covered a general overview of the locos, but we've got a lot to get through. So I think it's time we swap this around and got onto some rolling stuff. So just like that, once again, we've had another shuffle round, and most of the locos have gone, but we have a smattering of complementary rolling stock. Now, Ben, you're going to have to talk us through what we've got in front of us, because again, it's more items than I can handle.
Yeah, so we've got a smallish selection of rolling stock to suit the various loco types that we do.
I think the warehouse disagrees with that.
Well, yeah, and anything all gauges can't be described as small, of course. But yeah. So we've got a really interesting selection of really high quality rolling stock to match the locos. Starting at the front, we've got the catfish and dogfish ballast hoppers, which are really popular. Obviously used all over the country for a long period as well. So. And they work with almost anything diesel-wise that we make, and they're listed on the website now at $59.99, so they're a really good price. Moving to the larger end of the rolling stock fleet, we've got the cargo wagon IGA flat, which is a huge piece of rolling stock used for international traffic. I think carrying things like logs, pipes, steel bars. Concrete panels, all sorts of things.
Did I see we're doing a weathered one as well?
Yes, there is a weathered one in the range. Yeah. And you can. It's a huge wagon, but also it's one of those vehicles that you can almost make a one wagon train out of it. You can have a loco and just one of those as a short speed link train, or you can mix it with some of our other things like the PCA tanks. It's a really imposing but a really useful piece of rolling stock for the 1980s onwards.
What sort of loads would you see on them? Because I suppose as a modeller, you could have great fun adding a prototypical load.
Yeah, all sorts of things: pipes, steel bars, timber, concrete panels, sheeted loads, all sorts of things. It's a general merchandise wagon, so it's anything that would fit on there. Yeah. And then moving on, going back to the sort of steam era designs, we've got the Southern Railway utility vans. We've got two versions of that. We've got the PMV, which has got the fixed ends, parcels and miscellaneous van. And we've got the CCT version, which were designed with the opening end doors for carrying road vehicles originally. But then both of them were used for general parcels, luggage, mail, newspaper traffic for a long period from the 1920s right through to the 1980s, and we do these in 12 different versions. There's lots of sort of Southern Railway, BR Green, BR Maroon, BR Blue on both variants. So you've got a huge range of those, and there's weathered ones included as well.
So I noticed the list of colour. It's like a rainbow of them.
Yeah, they're fantastic, and although they were designed and built by the Southern Railway, these things actually wandered all over the country, right up to the far north of Scotland, down to Cornwall. They went everywhere because they were a really useful van. So they were, wherever you model in the country, you can probably find an excuse to use one of these.
And of course, we go to something slightly bigger now because we've got a Mark II,
Yes.
Test Car 6.
Yeah, we've got a fantastic range, a wide range of Mark IIs in lots of different liveries. And we do 4 different versions of the Mark II as well. So you've got the the most common one, which is the TSO, the second open. We do the corridor first, which is this version, and then we do 2 brakes as well. We do a brake first corridor and a brake second open. So you can make up really authentic Mark II form trains really easily. We do them in a wide range of liveries as well, from the blue and grey that they were delivered in, which is obviously really popular, but then right through the different sector liveries, so Network South East, ScotRail, Regional Railways, TransPennine, and then included in that you've got the odd departmental vehicle as well, so RTC livery, Railway Technical Centre in Derby, always very popular, and this was a former corridor first that was converted into a test vehicle.
And I'm going to put you under the spot now because it's my favourite aspect of the coaches, magnetic roofs.
Yes. So yes, these
Prove it.
the Mark II's party piece.
Very glad that came off.
Yeah. So they've got these magnetic roofs which show off the interior, which is fantastic. Got all the luggage racks and the individual seats and partitions and things, even down to the toilet details and the the bowl.
Oh yeah.
The sink and the toilet in the compartment. You've got there's a huge amount of detail in there, and also as a modeler you can embellish it. You can fit figures in there. You can add things like mirrors or whatever. So we've added lots of detail, but there's also much further that you can take it in all gauge because you've got that extra space to work with.
It's almost, I suppose, being such a bigger gauge than say something like 00. It's worth doing, especially with our friends at Model.U.
Yeah,
and the
absolutely.
figures you can get now.
Yeah, and it's a real modeler scale. So you've got there's so much room for expressing your creativity in all gauge and creating that extra detail.
And what's the sort of price point we're looking at for the Mark IIs?
Well, we're looking at $129.99 for the Mark IIs, all versions. We've got most liveries left, not all of them. I think some are sold out, but most of the liveries are available.
I think as we're recording this, because this is a live scenario, everything's coming from Denmark to our UK warehouse. The stock is coming through as fast as they can physically list it, I think is the case. I don't think as we're recording they're listed, but I know some of the things are very, very close to selling out. But keep on checking Heljan.com, of course. Right, that brings us to the inspection saloon.
Yes.
My favourite on the table.
It's a really wonderful sort of a vehicle full of character, and again, it's something where it's ideal for all gauge if your space is limited, because it's a complete one coach train and you can run it with almost any loco, and we're really pleased with how this came out. I mean, it's a fabulous looking model, and again, like the Mark II, it's got a magnetic roof, and its real party piece is the interior. There's a tremendous amount of detail on the inside of this.
Glad you're brave enough to attempt that.
I'll just peel the roof off. Again, it's held on with magnets, so it's dead easy to take off and replace. But once you get in there,
is that a cooker?
Yes, you've got a cooker in there. You've
even got the hogs.
You've got the separate rings for the cooker in there. You've got the grill for your bacon sandwiches. You've got a sink in there. In the toilet, you've got a wash basin and the toilet. You've even got the toilet roll on the wall.
That's behind frosted glass as well.
Yes, yeah. You've got conference tables in both inspection saloon ends. All the separate chairs are all individual, separate parts. There's an enormous amount of detail on there. But again, you can embellish it by putting a Model-U crew in there, sitting in the end, inspecting the track. You can add extra detail. You know, you could put a lunch out on the table or something if you were
make a diorama of just the coach.
Exactly. Yeah. It really is to that sort of level, the kind of military modelling level where you can get everything in there. So yeah, we've always been really proud of that model, and it's been a very good seller for us.
I think what I like about it is it's a sort of instant train in a box. So you have your favourite loco, then you've got your inspection coach, and there you go. Yeah,
exactly. And you can run it with anything. Obviously, inspection saloons went out often with medium-sized locos, 25, 26, 27s. But they're more, they would also go out with a 47 or a Peak or something bigger. So yeah, you can run it with, and we do the older liveries, so we go right back to LMS. So you could run it with a any sort of LMS loco or compound or a Mickey Mouse tank or whatever sort of thing whatever era you're modelling.
Of course, normally when we film these things or talk about projects, we've got a few weeks or months to go before they're even listed. But no, this is a live scenario. These samples have come from the actual warehouse stock as well, so you'll have to go and see what's left over, if anything at all. That'd be interesting. So there we are. Hopefully that was exciting for you. Now, don't forget some of the highlights. You've got the Ruston 48 DSs at £99, an excellent entry point into the gauge. But if you fancied something bigger, of course, all our big locos are starting from £249, and they're all available on Heljan.com right now. So thank you very much for watching. We'll say take care, and we'll see you very soon in another video.